Hey everyone, enjoy the story and don't forget to let us know in the comments where you're watching from. I came home early one day. It was supposed to be a surprise just to shake things up, but nothing prepared me for what I walked into. Kelsey had been acting weird for weeks. She was always on her phone, barely looked up when I walked into the room. When we talked, it was like I was talking to a wall. The late nights at work, the random disappearances, I'd brushed it off at first. I thought, hey, maybe she's just stressed. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. That day, I got off work a few hours early, decided to head home and surprise her. We hadn't had much time together lately, and I thought I could do something special, even if it was just dinner or whatever. But when I opened the door, I knew something was wrong. I heard her voice, but it wasn't like normal. It was high-pitched, almost nervous. She was talking to someone on the phone, but the second I stepped into the room, she froze. She didn't even try to cover it up. "Hold on, I'll call you back," she said. But the tone in her voice, it wasn't right. It didn't sound like her. I stood there for a second, not saying a word, watching her. She clicked the phone off and slowly turned to face me. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "Hey, babe, you're home early," she said, trying to act normal, but I could see her hands were shaking. I didn't say anything at first. I just stared at her. Something in my gut told me to dig deeper. "I wasn't expecting you," she said casually, like it was no big deal. "You want something to eat?" I nodded, still not saying anything. The tension in the air was thick. She was hiding something, and I could feel it. I walked into the kitchen. She followed me. I asked again, "Who were you talking to?" Her face tightened, but she quickly covered it up. "Just a friend from work. Nothing to worry about." Her eyes darted around, like she was looking for an escape. She kept fidgeting with her hair, then her shirt. But I wasn't buying it. "I don't know, Kelsey. Something feels off." I stood there, looking at her, waiting for her to crack. That's when the doorbell rang. She jumped, her eyes wide. "I'll get it," she said, already heading toward the door. But her movements were way too fast, like she wanted to get away from me. I followed her, but when she opened the door, I froze. Kyle. The guy from her work, the one who always found an excuse to help her out, the one who accidentally showed up whenever I was out of town. And there he was, standing in the doorway, looking way too comfortable. "Hey, Kyle, what's up?" I said, trying to keep my voice steady, but inside, my heart was pounding. "Oh, just came by to drop off some stuff for Kelsey." He smiled like he was in on some joke I wasn't part of. I looked at Kelsey. She stood there, awkwardly silent. Her face was pale. "I'll take it from here," she said quickly, trying to usher Kyle out, but he didn't leave right away. "You sure?" "I mean, we could grab a drink later if you're free," Kyle said, clearly pushing it. That was it. Something in me snapped. I walked right up to Kyle, stared him dead in the eye, and said, "What the hell is going on here?" His smile faltered for a second, but he recovered fast. "What do you mean?" I turned to Kelsey, who still hadn't said a word. "You really think I'm that stupid?" Her eyes darted to the floor, then to Kyle. She was trapped. I stepped closer to her, not backing down. "What is this? What the hell have you been doing behind my back, Kelsey?" For a second, it was like she wasn't even looking at me. She avoided my gaze, her lips trembling. "Look, I can explain," she started, but her voice didn't have the usual confidence. It was like she was trying to pull something together, but nothing was making sense. I turned back to Kyle, my blood boiling. "You're just going to stand there, pretending this isn't happening?" Kyle shuffled awkwardly, like he wanted to bail, but I wasn't letting him off that easy. Kelsey's phone buzzed again. She looked down at it quickly and went pale. I walked over to the table and grabbed the phone from her. She didn't even try to stop me. There were 2 new messages from Kyle, both about the plans for tonight. "Can't wait to see you later, baby. Got everything ready for our night." That was all I needed to see. I turned to Kelsey, my voice colder than I had ever heard it. "You've been sleeping with him, haven't you?" Her face turned bright red. She took a step back, almost like she was physically backing away from the truth. "Kelsey," I said again, more quietly this time, "I'm not an idiot." She didn't even try to deny it anymore. She just stood there, breathing fast, her eyes darting between me and Kyle, who was starting to look like he wanted to disappear into the floor. "I'm sorry," she whispered, barely audible. "I never meant for it to happen. It just did." "Did what exactly?" I snapped. "Slept with him? Played me for a fool? She didn't answer, just stood there, looking down at the ground, too ashamed to meet my eyes. I couldn't take it anymore. All the nights she'd been working late, all the times she'd been too tired for us, all the little lies she'd told to cover up the truth. This wasn't just cheating. It was betrayal, the kind that destroys everything. I looked at Kyle. Get out now. He didn't argue. He just gave me a nervous nod and left. I stood there, looking at Kelsey. My hands were shaking, but my heart was frozen. She finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. Please, don't leave me. I didn't mean for it to happen. But I already knew. This wasn't about a mistake. This was about a choice. And I wasn't going to be the guy who stayed just because she thought I would. The silence in the room felt like it was suffocating. Kelsey stood there, still trying to plead, while I just stared at her. I didn't even know what to say at first. The pain wasn't like I thought it would be. It wasn't a sharp pain in my chest. No, it was something colder, something more distant, like I was watching myself from the outside. I was still holding her phone, the messages still staring up at me like a slap in the face. Please, just listen, Kelsey said, her voice cracking now. She was crying. I couldn't even look at her the same way anymore. Her tears weren't going to fix this. They weren't going to fix anything. I tossed the phone onto the counter, feeling an urge to just walk out, leave it all behind. But I stayed, standing there, staring her down. You were planning a night with him, right? I said, my voice low and steady. You and him were going to do all this while I'm over here thinking everything's fine. You were going to play me like that? Her face flushed red. She nodded slowly, biting her lip, trying to hold it together, but I could see it. She was breaking down. She could barely look me in the eye anymore. Why? I asked, my words cutting through the air like a knife. Why him? What did he have that I didn't? She opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. It felt like everything she wanted to say was stuck in her throat. It was as if she couldn't find the words, and maybe she couldn't, because there were no good answers to this. I don't know, she finally whispered. It just happened. I didn't mean for it to turn out like this. I swear I never wanted to hurt you. I just stared at her. You didn't mean to turn it like this? Kelsey, you made a choice. You made this happen. She shook her head, taking a step forward, but I held up my hand to stop her. No, don't come near me. She froze in place. You want to know what the worst part is? I asked, not really expecting an answer. It's not the fact that you cheated. It's that you thought I wouldn't find out. You thought you could keep it hidden from me forever, right? Her face crumpled and she let out a shaky breath. She wiped her eyes, but I could still see the guilt on her face. I never wanted you to find out, she said, but her words felt like they were lacking the truth. I just wanted us to get back to how we were before. I didn't know how to fix it, so I just tried to escape. I shook my head. So this is how you fix things? By hiding behind a lie? By screwing someone else over and thinking that would solve everything? Her shoulders sagged as if she were just about to collapse under the weight of what she had done. She dropped her gaze to the floor, and I could see her shoulders trembling now. I never thought you would leave me. The words hung in the air like a challenge. She was testing me. You really thought I would stay after this? I laughed bitterly. You thought I would just let you walk all over me, let you tear everything apart, and I'd be okay with it? I didn't wait for an answer. Instead, I walked out of the room. I didn't want to hear any more apologies. She had already said enough to ruin everything. I grabbed my jacket from the coat rack and left the house, slamming the door behind me. The cool air outside hit me hard. I could hear her faintly calling my name from the front door, but I didn't turn around. I needed space. I needed air. I needed to not feel the weight of her lies pressing down on me. I drove aimlessly for a while. My mind was racing, my thoughts like a storm I couldn't control. I didn't know where I was headed, but I knew I had to get away. Eventually, I found myself at the edge of town. I parked by the old park we used to visit when things were good. It felt like another lifetime now. I sat there for a long time, staring out at the empty swings, the overgrown grass, the quiet. Everything that used to feel like home now felt like a distant memory. My phone buzzed a few times in my pocket, but I didn't look at it. I knew it was Kelsey. She had tried calling me twice before I left. Then I got a message. Please don't do this. I love you. I made a huge mistake. Please come back. I could feel the anger rising again, but more than that, I felt an overwhelming emptiness. There was no love in her words anymore. No sincerity. This was just another lie to keep me hanging on. I sat there until the sun started to set. It was a strange feeling. It was like I had just crossed a line and I couldn't go back to what we had. When I finally looked at my phone, I had another message from Kelsey. This one hit me harder than the others. I'm sorry, but I need you to understand. I was scared. I didn't know what else to do. It took everything in me not to reply. But I didn't. I couldn't. The more I thought about it, the more I realized I didn't need an explanation. I didn't need to hear her side of things. What happened wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a cry for help. She just made a choice. She chose to betray me. And that was something I couldn't forgive. Hey everyone, enjoy the story and don't forget to let us know in the comments where you're watching from. It started with her wanting to give back to the community. Emily signed up for this local volunteer group. It sounded innocent. They organized food drives, cleanup projects, little festivals for the town. She was so hyped about it. She'd never even picked up her own socks off the floor, but now she's out here saving the world. I was supportive, though. Drove her to the first event myself. By the second week, she's never home. Every night, it's some new meeting or planning session or late night setup for the weekend event. I asked if I could come help. She said no, it was members only, and they were full. Weird. Then it started getting expensive. She said they needed fundraisers, so she had to buy special shirts, tickets for raffles, decorations for booths, hundreds out of our account. When I asked for receipts, she got pissy. Said I didn't believe in her. One Saturday night, she said she was helping set up for a 5K charity run. Wouldn't be home till late. Around 11 p.m., I drove by the park where the 5K was supposed to happen. Place was dead. No tents, no people, nothing. Called her, no answer. Next morning, she came home wearing some guy's hoodie. Not mine, way too big. I asked about it and she said, oh, someone let me borrow it because it got cold. 2 days later, I see pictures on Facebook, a private party, bonfire at someone's property outside town. There she is, front and center, drink in hand, that same hoodie on, sitting real close to a dude I didn't know. I showed her the pictures. She laughed it off. It's not like that. We were all just hanging out. She made me feel crazy for even asking. After that, she got way more careful, turned off her location sharing, password protected her phone, started calling me insecure every time I asked anything. About a month later, I found condoms hidden in her car. We don't use condoms, haven't in years. Asked her about it. She said they're for a safe sex education booth we're setting up for teens. And I knew I had to catch her for real. So I waited. She said there was a big overnight charity event coming up. Everyone was going to camp out at the high school football field, raising money for something. Fine. Soon as she left, I followed. She didn't go to the school. She went to some dude's house across town. I parked a few streets away and waited. She didn't leave that house all night. Next morning, when she got home, she smelled like weed and cheap body spray. I asked, how was the charity event? She said it was life-changing. Gave me this whole speech about how we should all be grateful for what we have. I told her I knew she wasn't at the school. She immediately started crying, said she was just hanging out with friends and felt pressured to stay. She spun it into how I was controlling, how I was making her feel trapped, how she needed to find herself. She moved out a week later, told everyone I was emotionally abusive and didn't support her dreams. Whole town felt sorry for her. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there looking like the crazy bitter ex. 2 weeks later, she was officially dating the guy from the bonfire. Yeah, real charity work, Em. And that's not even half of it. After she left, I tried to move on. I wasn't about to chase someone who clearly didn't give a damn. But it didn't end there. First week she's gone, I start hearing stuff. My buddy Tyler, who works at a pizza shop downtown, texts me one night. Bro, Emily just came in. She's with that dude from the bonfire. All over each other. Sends me a picture. Sure enough, there they are. Sitting in a booth on the same side, sharing a milkshake like it's some 80s movie. I didn't even react, just saved the picture. Week after that, my bank calls. Turns out the fundraiser money she had me sending out, she never gave it to the volunteer group. She was cashing it out to a personal Venmo linked to her phone. I'm talking hundreds of dollars gone. Called the group's number she gave me. Some old lady answered, said they never got any money from Emily, barely even knew who she was. She only showed up to 2 cleanup events and then disappeared. I froze. I had paid for raffle tickets, t-shirts, event supplies, all of it, all fake. She scammed me the whole time. Tried confronting her, texted screenshots, bank records, everything. No response. 2 days later, I get a call from her mom. Her mom's bawling, telling me Emily had a breakdown. Said she was scared of me, claimed I was threatening her, and she feared for her life. I couldn't even believe what I was hearing. I hadn't even raised my voice to that girl once. Only thing I sent was proof she stole my money. She filed a police report. Didn't press charges, but enough to scare me. Paper trail. Looked like I was some psycho ex trying to harass her. Meanwhile, she's posting on Instagram about healing journeys and surrounding yourself with people who lift you up. One night, around 2 a.m., Tyler calls me again. He's at a bar, says Emily's there with not one but 2 guys. Neither are the dude from the bonfire. Apparently she's sloppy drunk, dancing on both of them. He sends a video. There she is, grinding between 2 dudes like she's in a music video. Meanwhile, she's got her Instagram bio saying "taken" with that bonfire dude's initials. I couldn't even keep up. Couple days after that, her sister, who I barely knew, messages me, says she's sorry, tells me Emily had been messing with a bunch of guys from the volunteer group the whole time. The bonfire guy wasn't even the main one. There was another dude, some event coordinator, married, mid-30s. They'd been sneaking around for months. Her sister told me Emily bragged about how easy it was to keep me in the dark, said I was too trusting and too boring, said she needed more excitement. Here's the kicker. The whole reason she joined that group was because her friend told her it was where all the hot guys are. All that crap about giving back to the community? Straight lies. She just wanted to party and hook up without looking bad. If anyone asked, she could say she was doing charity work. A couple weeks later, she hosted a fundraiser celebration party at her new apartment. Tyler's cousin got invited, said it was basically a free-for-all. Drugs, booze, guys hooking up with girls in bedrooms. Meanwhile, Emily's giving a thank you speech about how we all need to support each other and stay positive. Straight circus. At that point, I realized there was no fixing anything. No getting money back. No getting apologies. She was too far gone. I blocked her on everything. Couple months pass. I'm finally feeling normal again. Random Tuesday night. There's a knock at my door. It's Emily. Drunk. Mascara running down her face. Starts babbling about how the bonfire dude dumped her. Found out she was hooking up with other guys behind his back too. Nobody from the group wanted anything to do with her. She was broke, couch surfing. She looked pathetic. She said she made mistakes, that she missed me, that she was ready to be serious now. I didn't even let her finish. Told her straight up, you lied, you stole, you trashed my name. Find somewhere else to cry. Closed the door in her face. Couple days after that, she tried one last thing. She posted this long Facebook status, tagging mutual friends, talking about how toxic relationships can destroy a woman's spirit and how not all scars are visible. Tried painting me as the bad guy without using my name. Problem was, people weren't buying it anymore. Too many had seen her drunk at bars, flirting with married dudes, lying about charity events. One of the girls from the volunteer group, someone Emily used to party with, commented under the post, said something like, maybe if you kept your pants on and your hands out of people's wallets, you'd still have friends. It got dozens of likes. Nobody defended her. Emily deleted the post an hour later. Deleted her whole account a few days after that. Haven't heard from her since. She spent months lying, cheating, stealing, and when it all blew up, she still acted like I was the villain. Some people aren't broken. They're just garbage. Hey everyone, enjoy the story and don't forget to let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd been together for almost 4 years. Her name was Rachel. I thought we were solid. We had our little fights here and there like every couple, but nothing crazy. I had just gotten a promotion at work, a better position with better hours, and I thought everything was finally lining up for us. I even started looking at rings. Rachel was still finishing college, just part-time. She worked at a local bookstore, and she always complained about how boring it was, how her coworkers were older, how she felt like she was wasting her time. I always told her to just hang in there. It was only temporary. About 2 months before everything fell apart, she started talking about this new group she joined at school, some volunteer thing for community projects, helping organize events, doing food drives, stuff like that. I thought it was good for her. It got her out, gave her something to do besides work and homework. She mentioned a few names here and there. One that kept coming up was Dylan. At first, I didn't think much about it. She made it sound harmless. Dylan's just super organized. Dylan's good at leading meetings. Dylan's funny, you know how it goes. Then she started getting weird about her phone. Always flipping it face down when we were together, keeping it on silent, taking it with her even when she just went to the kitchen. I noticed, but I didn't say anything at first. I didn't want to seem like the crazy, jealous boyfriend. One Saturday, she told me she had an all-day event with her volunteer group. She said they were helping set up a local fair and wouldn't be home till late. Cool, whatever. I had some work to catch up on anyway. Around 7 p.m., I texted her just asking how it was going. No answer. 9 p.m., I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. Midnight, still nothing. When she finally stumbled in around 1:30 a.m., her hair was messed up, her clothes were all wrinkled, and she smelled like beer and cheap cologne. I wasn't an idiot. I asked her what happened. She said they went to get drinks after the event. She lost track of time. She was slurring her words a little, trying to act normal. I didn't push too hard that night because honestly, I didn't want to hear what I already knew. The next morning, she acted like nothing happened. Making coffee, humming to herself, scrolling on her phone. I couldn't take it. I asked her straight up, "Are you seeing someone else?" She laughed at first, like I was telling a joke. Then she got defensive. Maybe if you actually spent time with me instead of working all the time, I wouldn't have to find attention somewhere else. That hit like a truck. I said, "So you're admitting it?" She shrugged. I didn't say that. But her eyes gave it away. She couldn't even look at me. I pressed again. She finally snapped, said she made a mistake with Dylan, that it just happened, that she was drunk and didn't mean for it to go that far. I packed a bag that afternoon and left for my brother's house. She blew up my phone the whole night. Messages bouncing between angry and apologetic. 1 second saying it was my fault for being distant. Next second crying about how she didn't want to lose me. I didn't answer. 2 days later, she showed up at my brother's, uninvited, started banging on the door like a crazy person. My brother answered and told her to leave. She cried and screamed on the porch. Neighbors peeked out their windows. I stood there watching her through the blinds, feeling absolutely nothing. A few hours later, she sent me this huge paragraph saying she only did it because she was lonely and needed to feel wanted. She still wouldn't fully admit she cheated. She kept calling it a mistake, like it just magically happened. It wasn't just a drunk accident either. Turns out they'd been texting for weeks. Late night talks, studying together, sharing songs, inside jokes, the whole thing. I found out because she forgot to delete one thread off her iCloud. Dylan telling her he wished she was in his bed instead of mine. Her telling him maybe someday soon. Maybe someday soon. While I was out working extra shifts to save for our future, I blocked her everywhere after that. Took her off everything. I even called my old landlord and moved back into my tiny one-bedroom from when I was single. I didn't want any reminders of her. Funny thing is, even after all that, her last text to me said, "I still don't think I did anything wrong. You left me alone too much." Like somehow it was my fault she couldn't keep her legs closed. After blocking Rachel, I started trying to piece my life back together. New apartment, old furniture, same job, but everything felt different. I wasn't waking up to good morning texts, no random calls during lunch breaks, no plans for weekends anymore. At first it felt freeing, like I was getting fresh air after being underwater for too long. But then came the nights. The silence hit different when it was just me, my old couch, and a half-empty fridge. Rachel didn't stop either. She found ways to get around my blocks, fake numbers, new social media accounts, emails, letters left on my windshield at work. The first few were the usual apologies. Then it switched. She started blaming me harder. "You abandoned me. You gave up on us too easily. I made one mistake and you're acting like I'm the villain." It was insane. I didn't even respond anymore. There was no point. One night around 11 p.m., I heard loud banging on my apartment door. At first, I thought it was a neighbor having an emergency. Nope, it was Rachel, standing there crying her eyes out. I didn't let her in. I just cracked the door a little and asked what she wanted. She begged me to talk, said she missed me, said Dylan didn't mean anything, said she was drunk, said it was just one night. I stayed calm, told her to leave, told her we were done, told her she needed to go home. She flipped, started yelling that I was throwing everything away over nothing, said I wasn't perfect either, tried to bring up old fights we had, like somehow that made sleeping with Dylan acceptable. I shut the door in her face, listened to her sob outside for a few minutes. Then silence. The next morning, she left a note tucked in my door frame, one of those messy handwritten ones, all crooked and rushed. It said, "I hope you're happy. You ruined the best thing you ever had." Yeah, I ruined it, totally. A couple days later, I started hearing stuff through mutual friends. Rachel was telling everyone it was mutual, that we were on a break when it happened, that I was emotionally distant and probably cheated first. I didn't even bother correcting anyone. If people believed that, they weren't really my friends anyway. Meanwhile, Rachel was still working at that bookstore, still pretending like she was the victim, still posting fake happy pictures online like her world wasn't burning. The craziest part, she stayed with Dylan. They made it official a month later, posting selfies, date nights, captioning them with stuff like "everything happens for a reason" and "real love wins." It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. Sad thing was, I wasn't even mad anymore, just embarrassed I ever thought she was my future. One random Sunday afternoon, my buddy Chris called me. He used to work near the bookstore. Said he saw Rachel and Dylan arguing in the parking lot, like full-on screaming at each other. Dylan shoved her hand away when she tried to grab him. She started crying. He got in his car and peeled out, leaving her standing there. Apparently, Dylan had been seeing another girl behind Rachel's back, a freshman from their volunteer group, the same way he started sneaking around with Rachel when she was with me. Go figure. I didn't feel bad for her, not even a little bit. She made her choices. She lit the fire and sat there watching it burn. I moved on, started focusing on myself, hit the gym again, picked up old hobbies, took some weekend trips, did stuff I hadn't made time for when I was busy trying to build a future with someone who didn't even care. Funny how life works. When you're with the wrong person, everything feels like an uphill battle. When you're not, it feels like breathing again. Rachel tried reaching out one last time about 3 months later, an email, saying she missed me, saying she learned her lesson, saying maybe we could start over. I didn't even open it. I just clicked delete. Gone. Some things don't deserve a second chance, especially when they never took responsibility the first time. Hey everyone, enjoy the story and don't forget to let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We were living together for about a year when all this happened. Her name's Tara. Mine's Nick. I'm 27, she's 26. We had a good thing going, or so I thought. I worked nights sometimes, bouncing between 2 jobs to stack money. She worked remote, so she was home most days. Perfect setup, right? Wrong. It started small. Little things. She stopped texting me when I was on break, took forever to answer calls, said she was busy, even though she literally sat at a laptop in our living room all day. I didn't think much of it at first. I thought maybe she was just tired, stressed, whatever. One Thursday night, my buddy Adam asked if I wanted to hit the bar after work. I said no, told him Tara would be waiting for me. He laughed and said, "Bro, she's probably passed out by now." I laughed too. If I only knew. I get home around midnight. House is dark except the kitchen light. Weird. Her car's outside though. I walk in, no TV noise, no TikTok blasting on her phone like usual. Just silence. I call out, "Babe?" Nothing. I walk past the kitchen and that's when I notice it. A pair of shoes by the door that aren't mine. Men's Nikes. Size 11 maybe. My heart starts racing. I tell myself maybe her brother came over. Maybe her cousin. Anything. I walk toward the hallway. Lights are off. Our bedroom door almost closed, but not fully. I hear something. Whispers. Movement. I push the door open slow. Real slow. And there they are. Tara and some guy I don't even recognize under my blankets, in my bed. His pants are off. Hers are around her ankles. They're mid-act. In my house. I just stood there, frozen. Couldn't even speak. Tara sees me first, eyes wide like a deer in headlights. The guy, he doesn't even notice at first, still going at it like it's a marathon. I finally find my voice. What is this? The guy looks back over his shoulder like he just realized there's another human in the room. He jumps up, tries to yank his jeans up one-handed, falls into my nightstand, knocks my lamp over. Good. Tara's scrambling too, trying to pull her shorts up, babbling. Nick, I thought you were working late. I thought. You thought what, Tara? I yell. You thought you could bring some guy into our bed while I was out working? The guy's stuttering. Bro, I didn't know she had a boyfriend. Like that's supposed to make it better. I point right at the door. Get out. Now. He grabs his shirt, his wallet, no shoes, and literally sprints out the front door. Tara's crying now, half-dressed, trying to come toward me. I step back. Don't even, I say. Don't you dare. She's begging, sobbing, like saying it was a mistake. It was just this one time, and it didn't mean anything. I walk past her, grab a gym bag, and just start shoving clothes into it. Anything I can grab. She's following me around the house, crying, pulling at my arm. I yank away. You're unbelievable, I say. Then she says it. It didn't even mean anything. It was just Zach. I freeze. Turn around him? She goes pale. Covers her mouth. You know him? This isn't some random guy? She doesn't answer, just cries harder. I snatch her phone off the counter. No passcode. She unlocked it earlier for DoorDash. I scroll. There it is. Zach. Their texts. Hundreds of them. Sexting. Pictures. Plans to meet up in my house when they thought I was working. Dates going back months. I walk to the kitchen. She's trailing behind, sobbing, apologizing. I open the drawer where we keep the spare keys, grab my car keys. You have 2 minutes to call your mom or your sister or whoever you need, I say, because when I come back, you better be out of this house. She's wailing now, literally on the floor, crying like some soap opera actress. I walk out, drive to Adam's place, tell him everything. We sit there, not even drinking, just stunned. An hour later, I go back. Lights are off. Her car is gone. Good. Inside, the whole place smells like him, like sweat and cheap cologne. I grab the Lysol, spray the whole bedroom down. I throw away my pillows, the sheets, the comforter, all of it. Set it on fire in the fire pit out back. Neighbors probably thought I lost my mind. I didn't care. And that's just the start of it, because a week later, I found out way worse. Way worse. After I kicked Tara out, I thought it was done. Thought I'd seen the worst of it. I was wrong. First few days were quiet. No texts, no calls, no I'm sorry essays like you'd expect. It was almost like she disappeared. Then Adam hits me up, says he heard something. One of his friends saw Tara at Zach's apartment. She wasn't crying. She wasn't heartbroken. She was laughing, smiling, hanging all over him, like none of it mattered. Like the last 3 years we had meant nothing. I felt like such an idiot. While I was tossing out our whole bedroom, torching memories, she was already moved on with the guy she cheated with. Adam's pissed too. He tells me we should confront them, blow up their spot, post everything online. I think about it. I really do. But then I realize they're not worth it. I needed to be smart. Tara still had stuff at the house, a lot of it, clothes, shoes, random junk she hoarded. She texted me finally, like 5 days later, hey, can I come by and get my stuff? No apology, no emotion, just business. I tell her no, I'll pack it up and leave it on the porch. She has 1 day to get it. She agrees. So Saturday morning, I start boxing her crap up, and that's when I find something. In the closet, way in the back, behind some old Christmas decorations, a small box wrapped in a hoodie. At first, I think it's just junk, but when I open it, photos, notes, little Polaroids of Tara and Zach, and not recent ones. These went back way before I caught them. Before the night I saw them in my bed, before I even suspected anything. One picture has a date on it. 8 months ago. 8 months. I'm sitting there on the floor, surrounded by proof she'd been lying to my face for almost a year, smiling in selfies with him, wearing my hoodie, at my house. Some of the photos were straight up taken in my living room. Same couch, same coffee table. They were laughing in front of the TV I bought her for her birthday. I feel sick. Not the flu kind of sick. The kind where you realize everything you thought was real was a lie. There's even a letter in there, a handwritten letter. It's from Zach to Tara. He's from Zach to Tara. He's talking about how he loves sneaking around, how thrilling it is to hook up while I'm clueless. He even jokes about how he wonders if Nick ever notices the bed smells different. They were laughing at me. Behind my back in my own house, in my own bed, I'm gripping the letter so tight it almost rips. I don't even know how long I sat there. Finally, I pack all that crap up, toss it in one of the boxes, write her name on it in giant black Sharpie. Then I go inside and grab the last thing, a little photo album she made me for our 2-year anniversary. I flip through it, pictures of us at the beach, at my brother's wedding, trips, vacations, all fake, all while she was sneaking off with Zach. I toss the album in the trash. Around 2 p.m., she pulls up, just sits in her car, texting. I leave the boxes on the porch, walk back inside, lock the door, watch through the blinds. She walks up, sees the boxes, starts loading them into her trunk. Then she sees the one with the photos and letters on top. She freezes. I see her open the box, see her pull the photos out. She looks around like she's checking if anyone's watching. Then she grabs the photos and tries to hide them under her jacket. Like that'll fix anything. I don't say a word. I don't go outside. I just watch her struggle to carry her junk back to her car. Takes her 3 trips. Good. She deserves to sweat for once. Before she leaves, she stands at the bottom of the porch, looking up at the door like she's debating knocking. I don't move. I don't make a sound. Finally, she gets in her car and drives off. I think that's it, that I'll never hear from her again. I'm wrong again, because later that night, I get a text from Zach. Zach, the guy who slept with my girlfriend in my house. Zach's text pops up around 11 p.m. I'm sitting on the couch trying not to think about any of it. It just says, "Hey man, can we talk?" Like we're buddies. Like this is just a normal misunderstanding. I stare at it for a second, thinking maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe it's fake. Maybe it's Tara trying to mess with me. But no, it's his number. I don't respond. Just put my phone down. Not even 2 minutes later, another text. Longer this time. I just want to say I'm sorry, bro. I never meant for it to happen that way. I care about her, but I didn't want you to find out like that. I laugh. Out loud. Didn't want me to find out like that? Like the problem was how I caught them, not what they did. The nerve this guy has. Another text. If you ever want to talk in person, let me know. In person? Was he serious? Like we were going to meet up and hug it out? I don't respond. Turn my phone off. Next morning, Adam calls. Tells me he's hearing stuff. Zach's been running his mouth around town, telling people that Tara and I were basically over when it happened, that I treated her bad, that they fell in love naturally. It's like getting hit all over again. They're not just pretending it's no big deal. They're rewriting the whole story, making me the bad guy. Adam's furious. Wants to fight Zach, wants to post the pictures, the letters, wants to blow it all up. I tell him to chill, not because Zach doesn't deserve it, but because I'm not letting them drag me down with them. They already stole enough from me. They weren't going to get my dignity too. A couple days later, I'm at the grocery store, minding my own business, trying to live my life. I turn a corner by the frozen food aisle, and there they are, Tara and Zach, shopping together, holding hands. Laughing like a married couple. She sees me first. She freezes, drops his hand. He sees me next, tries to act cool, gives me that little chin nod guys do when they're trying to look tough. I stare at them for a second. No yelling, no scene, just disappointment. More than anything, I feel sorry for her. She downgraded, traded 3 years of love, support, trust for a guy who couldn't even respect basic loyalty. I shake my head, push my cart right past them, don't even look back. I finish shopping, go home, block both of them on everything, change my locks, change my routines, start focusing on myself again. It wasn't easy. It didn't get better overnight, but it did get better. New gym routine, new friends, new focus. One night, a few months later, I get a DM on Instagram. It's from a random girl I don't know. She says, "Hey, are you Nick? I just wanted to let you know Tara's been talking bad about you online, saying you were crazy and controlling. I thought you should know because she said the same stuff about her last boyfriend, and I found out she was cheating on him too." I just laugh. Duh, delete the message, block the account. Because by then, I finally realized it didn't matter what they said. The truth was simple. I was loyal. I was real. They weren't. Hey everyone, enjoy the story and don't forget to let us know in the comments where you're watching from. So it all started on a random Thursday. I took the day off work to go ring shopping. I was planning to propose to my girlfriend Kayla. We'd been together for 3 years, lived together for 2. She had no idea I was even thinking about proposing yet. I played it low-key, acted like marriage wasn't on my radar anytime soon. Truth was, I'd been saving for the ring for over a year, so I hit up this place downtown that my coworker told me about. Small shop, but classy. Guy who owned it sat down with me and showed me a few options. I was there for like an hour, ended up picking out this ring with a pear-shaped diamond and a thin gold band. Kayla liked simple stuff. The guy offered to resize it and box it up, told me to come pick it up the following Tuesday. Felt good. Nervous, but good. Now here's where it all turned sideways. While I was walking back to my car, I remembered Kayla had mentioned needing new shoes for her friend's wedding. The mall was just 5 minutes away, so I figured I'd swing by and grab her a gift card to that store she liked, just to add to the surprise later. So I head into the mall, pass by Victoria's Secret. Nothing weird yet. But then I glance to the side, and I see her, Kayla, inside the store, with some dude. At first, I just freeze. Could be her brother, right? Could be a friend. Except she's laughing, and he's got his hand on her lower back. Then I see him pull something off the rack, some red lace-looking thing, and she nods. So I move closer. I stay behind this rack near the window. They don't see me. He leans in and says something in her ear. She laughs again and kisses him. Not a friendly kiss. Not a we're just playing kiss. A full-on mouth kiss, hands on his chest. I back away, quietly. I walk straight to my car, sit down, and just stare at the wheel. My hands were shaking. Not even from anger yet. Just shock. I drive home, don't say a word to her that night. She comes home an hour later, tells me she was shopping with Jamie. That's her best friend. I nod and say cool. She hops in the shower. I don't bring it up. Next day, I start watching. Not just in a paranoid way. I knew something was going on. I check her phone while she's in the shower. She changed her password. It used to be the name of her dog. Now it's something new. So I pull up her iPad. It's synced to her phone. Messages start loading. She's been texting a guy named Travis. I scroll. It's all there. Stuff like, can't stop thinking about last night. You look so good in the mirror. I wish I was in your bed right now instead of mine. I don't know how long I sat there reading, just message after message. Voice notes, pics. The red lingerie was for him. They had a hotel booked for Sunday night. She told me she was going to be at Jamie's bridal fitting. She lied straight to my face. Again. So I start screen recording, screenshotting everything. I airdrop all the evidence to my laptop. I back it up on a flash drive. I wasn't about to make a move without proof. The next couple days, I pretend nothing's wrong. Friday night, she asks if I want to go out for drinks. I tell her I'm tired. She goes out with the girls. Doesn't come home till 2 a.m. No makeup. Hair messy. New perfume. Smelled like cologne too. Saturday, I'm done pretending. I hit up her friend Jamie on Instagram. I say, hey, Kayla said y'all had a fitting tomorrow. Just wanted to double check the time. Jamie replies 5 minutes later, confused. What fitting? We had ours last weekend. Boom. Nail in the coffin. Sunday morning, Kayla's all dressed up, says she's meeting Jamie at this spa downtown before the fitting. I help her zip up her dress. She kisses me goodbye, says, love you, baby. She walks out the door. I give her a 10-minute head start. Then I drive straight to the hotel. I sit in the lot across the street. It takes less than 15 minutes before I see her walk in. Alone. 10 more minutes, and Travis shows up. They go upstairs together. I wait another 20. Then I go inside, walk up to the desk, tell the guy I'm picking up a friend who forgot her ID, and I think she's in room 423. He hesitates but hands me a guest list. There it is. Room 423, Kayla M. Shh. Travis B. I take the elevator. My heart's beating out my chest, but I keep calm. I walk up to the door, and I knock. There's a pause. Then I hear whispering. Then footsteps. Kayla opens it halfway, wearing a damn robe. She sees me and freezes. Her face goes white. I don't say a word. I just hold up my phone. I press play. Voice note starts blasting. You make me feel things he never has. I swear I see forever when I'm with you, Trav. Her eyes go wide. She grabs for the phone. I step back. Travis comes into view behind her. Shirtless, tattoo on his chest. Same guy from the store. I say, hope the lingerie fit. Then I turn around, walk back to my car. She calls me 5 times before I even leave the lot. Didn't answer a single one. I didn't go home right away. Drove around for a while, hit the gas station, got a drink, parked at the beach lot, and just sat there, ignored every call, every text, 15 missed calls, 7 texts from her in the first hour. Then a long-ass message popped up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to find out this way. Can we please talk? Didn't even answer. Just sat there thinking about how close I came to marrying this girl. Spent years building with her. Canceled trips to save up for that damn ring. Covered her rent one time when she lost her job. Picked her up from her mom's when they fought. Whole time she was giving Travis the version of her I thought I had. I drove back home around 10. She was already there, waiting by the door. Still in that same robe, hair all messy, like she ran straight out the hotel when I left. She ran up when she saw my car pull in. Started crying. Crocodile tears. Please, just let me explain. It didn't mean anything. I was confused. I walked right past her. Confused people don't book hotels. They don't wear red lace for side dudes. She followed me inside. Sighed, crying louder now. Started with the I love yous and the it was a mistake lines. Tried to grab my hand. I pulled away. I said, you lied about the mall. Lied about Jamie. Lied about tonight. How many more? She went quiet. Then came the real reason. You were working all the time. You didn't notice me anymore. Travis made me feel wanted. I laughed. You want to feel wanted? I was picking out a damn ring while you were picking out underwear for that clown. That shut her up. For a second. Then she tried flipping it. You should have talked to me. You should have noticed I was slipping away. Oh, so now I was the reason she cheated? I told her to pack a bag. Told her she wasn't staying another night in that apartment. She said she had nowhere to go. I told her to try Travis. She sat on the couch and just cried. Wouldn't move. So I grabbed a trash bag, walked to the bedroom, and started tossing her stuff in. Clothes, makeup, that little box of notes I wrote her. All of it. Tossed it in front of her. She just sat there. Mute. I told her if she wasn't gone in 20 minutes, I'd call her mom and tell her everything. That got her up. She left. No goodbye. No hug. Just walked out with her little suitcase and trash bag full of fake memories. She went silent for a few days after that. Then she started posting cryptic stuff on Instagram. Black and white quotes, sad girl music. He didn't understand my heart type captions. Blocked her. Then Travis hit me up. This idiot had the nerve to message me. Yo, I didn't know she had a man, bro. I swear. She told me y'all were done. I replied with 3 photos. All of Kayla's texts. One with the I love you from 2 days before the hotel. One where she said, I'll tell him soon, just give me time. One where she told him, I still sleep in his bed, but dream of you. Travis blocked me right after. Didn't hear from either of them for weeks. But then, one random Tuesday, Kayla showed up again, this time in the rain. Like a scene out of some movie. I was getting off work, walking up to my building, and there she was, soaked, no umbrella, holding a bag. She looked rough. She said, please, I don't want to lose you. I haven't talked to him. I haven't even looked at another guy. I'm sorry. I was scared, but I love you. I let her talk, just stood there. Then I asked her one question. Why him? Out of all people, why Travis? She paused, then said, he was easy. He flirted, and I felt powerful again, like someone wanted me without expecting anything back. That was it for me. I told her I hope she finds whatever she's looking for, but she wasn't getting it from me. She cried again, then walked off. I didn't stop her. Couple days later, I mailed her the rest of her stuff. Found a ring box in my drawer, still had the receipt, took it back. Guy at the store gave me a weird look when I handed it over, asked if I needed a different size. I said, nah, man. Turns out it was for the wrong person. 2 weeks passed. I was finally sleeping better, eating normal. I even started going out again. Met up with my cousin Joey one night at this bar we used to hit back in college. Just needed noise and something other than silence in the apartment. We were a few drinks in, sitting near the back when Joey goes, don't turn around, but guess who just walked in? Didn't have to. I already knew. She had this perfume. The second it hit, I remembered everything. I turned around anyway. There she was, Kayla, with Travis. She saw me too. Froze for half a second, then put on that fake smile she always used when she was trying to pretend like everything was fine. Travis didn't see me yet. He was too busy ordering drinks, laughing with some other couple. She made her way over. Hey, she said like we were old friends. I leaned back in my chair. Seriously? You're already back with him? It's not like that. We ran into each other and save it. You told me you hadn't seen him since. Now you're playing house again? She looked embarrassed, glanced back at him. I didn't plan this. He reached out, said he missed me. I just... Stop. I cut her off. Don't explain. I'm not your boyfriend anymore. You don't owe me anything, and I don't care. That part was a lie. I did care. But I wasn't giving her the satisfaction. She nodded, looking like she wanted to say more, but couldn't. Travis finally saw me then. He raised his beer like we were cool or something. I didn't move. Just stared at him until he dropped his smile. They didn't stay long. 10 minutes later, they were gone. Joey looked at me and said, "You good?" "Yeah," I said. "Better than I've been in a while." The next morning, I did something I hadn't done in months. I re-downloaded a dating app. Matched with a girl named Riley that same night. She was funny, smart, way more real than Kayla ever was. We met up that weekend for coffee. No expectations, just two people talking. It felt normal, not forced. Not like I was trying to patch up a hole in my chest. We saw each other again, then again. A month later, we were going to concerts, trying out food trucks, crashing at each other's places. She never made me question anything, didn't hide her phone, didn't vanish on Fridays. And then, out of nowhere, Kayla texted me again. "I'm sorry, I messed up. He's not you. I can't stop thinking about you." I didn't answer. She followed up with a voice message, crying, saying she couldn't sleep. That being with Travis made her realize how badly she ruined things. I didn't respond to that either. Next thing I know, she's at my door again. Riley was with me this time. I opened the door, saw Kayla standing there, and for the first time, I felt nothing. No anger. No heat in my chest, just over it. She froze when she saw Riley behind me. "Oh," she said, her voice cracking. "Yeah," I said. I moved on. She tried to say something, but I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. "Kayla," I said, calm, "you made your choice. I don't hate you for it. I'm just done." Her eyes watered up, but I didn't flinch. "Goodbye," I said. She turned and walked away. I stood there until her car pulled off, then went back inside. Riley was sitting on the couch, waiting. "Everything okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. Just some old baggage showing up one last time. That night, I finally tossed the last box of Kayla's stuff I had in the closet. Her scarf, a couple of books, and that one stupid photo strip from the fair. Burned it in the fire pit outside. Felt good. Weeks passed, then months. I didn't see Kayla again. Didn't hear from her either. But I did hear about Travis. Apparently, he got fired from his job after sleeping with some other coworker. Kayla found out. Lost it. They broke up again. And me? I stayed with Riley. She's not perfect. Neither am I, but we're real. Honest. And every time I think about what almost was, I remember that night at the jewelry store. That tiny red tag. The laugh in the dressing room. And I smile, because I dodged a damn bullet. We were together for 4 years. I met Ellie at a friend's barbecue, and things moved fast. Within a few months, she was basically living at my place. I worked construction, long hours, early mornings, so I liked coming home to someone who made life feel calm. Ellie worked part-time at a yoga studio and posted lifestyle content on Instagram. She always looked put together, always on her phone too, but I didn't think anything of it back then. About 3 years into the relationship, I started saving for a ring. Quietly, piece by piece. I had it in my head I'd propose to her on our trip to Colorado that spring. I'd scoped out this cliffside spot overlooking the mountains. Nothing cheesy, just us and the view. I was going to do it on the 3rd day, after a hike. I even talked to her sister about it to help me pick a ring style Ellie would like. Anyway, let me back up a few months. There were little signs. Texts she'd angle her phone away for. Late night, I'm just going to scroll for a bit moments. A couple times, she'd go out to meet the girls and come home 3 hours later than she said. One night, I casually said, "Tell Alyssa I said hi," and she froze for a split second like she had to remember who Alyssa was. But I brushed it off. I told myself I was overthinking. That I'd propose and all this noise in my head would settle down. So I kept planning. I even booked a photographer to secretly take a few photos from a distance during the proposal. I was going all out. 2 weeks before the trip, I noticed something weird with her phone. She left it on the kitchen counter and went to shower. It buzzed, screen lit up, and it wasn't a name. It was a heart emoji and the letter D. Just that. I don't make a habit of checking her phone, but that message felt like a punch in the face. I opened her text. There was a whole thread with stuff like, last night was amazing. I hate sneaking around, but I can't stop thinking about you. He doesn't even notice anything. I sat down at the counter and kept scrolling. The messages went back at least 2 months. Pics too. Nothing straight up X-rated, but enough. Her in a towel, him shirtless in a mirror selfie. She even said, I wish I met you before him. I didn't even know who the guy was yet. My heart was pounding, but I didn't want her to know I saw anything. Not yet. I closed the messages, put the phone back where it was, and sat on the couch like nothing happened. She came out smiling, kissed me on the cheek, and asked if I wanted to order Thai food. That night, I didn't sleep. I just laid there next to her, replaying everything in my head. Next day, while she was at work, I started digging. Checked her iPad, same Apple ID, and I found the same thread with D. Then I looked through her photos. She had an album hidden. You know how you can hide photos on iPhones? Yeah, she forgot to lock the album. Photos of them together in what looked like a hotel room. Her in a red dress I'd never seen before. Him with his arm around her waist, mirror pics of them kissing. The timestamp said it was the same weekend she told me she was going to a wellness retreat with her girlfriends. I didn't lose it. Not yet. I screenshotted everything, airdropped it to my laptop, and backed it up on a flash drive just in case. I still didn't know who this D was, so I checked her Instagram follows. Only a few names starting with D. One of them was this guy called Drew Kramer. His page was private, but his profile pic, it was him. Same guy from the photos. He was some fitness entrepreneur type. He lived across town. I searched his name on Facebook, found out he used to date one of Ellie's yoga friends. Probably how they met. Now here's the messed up part. 3 days before the trip, I was at the jewelry store finalizing the payment for the ring. She texted me, "Can you pick up almond milk on your way back? Love you." Meanwhile, 2 hours earlier, she had messaged Drew, "I can't wait to feel your hands on me again." That same night, I confronted her sister. I called Jenna and said, "Hey, real talk. Do you know who Drew is?" She got real quiet. Then said, "You should probably talk to Ellie about that." I said, "I'm not asking her. I'm asking you. You helped me with the ring. Were you helping me propose to someone who's cheating on me?" She didn't deny it, just said, "I didn't know what to do, man. Ellie's been confused for a while." Confused. That's what she called sleeping with another guy while I was out working overtime to afford a damn engagement ring. I told Jenna not to tell Ellie I knew. I still had a plan to finish. So the day of the trip came. I acted normal, packed the bags, smiled, drove us 6 hours to Colorado like nothing was wrong. She laughed at my playlists, told me how excited she was to hike, said, "You're really the best, babe." We got to the cabin I booked, dropped our stuff, and I told her I was going to take a nap. But I didn't sleep. I sat in the room thinking about how I was going to end this. And then I came up with it. I was still going to take her on the hike. I was still going to take her to that cliff, and I was still going to bring the ring, but I wasn't going to propose. I was going to give her something else. Next morning, I packed the small backpack like I had planned. Water bottles, a couple snacks, the ring box, and now a folded manila envelope with the printed screenshots inside. We hiked for about 2 hours to get to the overlook spot. She was smiling the whole way, holding my hand, stopping to take pictures for her Instagram. I even took a few of her when she asked. I faked the laughs, the smiles. I was just waiting to reach the spot. We got to the edge of the cliff, overlooking the valley, trees stretching for miles, sky wide open. The same place I had scouted months earlier. She stood there with her hands on her hips, taking it in. "Wow, this is amazing," I said. "Yeah, it's perfect." Then I reached into the backpack and pulled out the little black ring box. Her whole body froze. She turned around, mouth slightly open like she was about to cry, but I didn't get down on one knee. I just opened the box and held it up, standing. She put her hand over her mouth. "Oh my God." "Are you serious?" I said. "You tell me." Then I pulled out the envelope and handed it to her. She blinked, confused. "What's this?" "Read it." She opened it, pulled out the screenshots. At first, she didn't even understand what she was looking at. Then her face changed. Her hand dropped from her mouth and she started flipping through the pages like she was looking for a way out. Photos, texts, her telling him she missed him calling her baby, her calling me clueless. I stood there watching her read every word while holding the open ring box in my other hand. After a few seconds of silence, she said, "You went through my phone?" I said, "That's what you got out of this?" She didn't answer. She just stared at the papers. Then she started crying. Real tears. I'd seen her cry before, during movies, when her dog died, once when we fought about bills. But this time it felt fake. Or maybe it was real, but not because she was sorry. I think she realized she got caught, and the dream she was living, the nice guy, the comfortable home, the trip to Colorado, was about to vanish. "I didn't mean for this to happen," she said. "I didn't say anything. It was just, I felt lost. Okay? You've been so busy, working all the time. I didn't know where we were headed." I laughed, actually laughed. "You didn't know where we were headed? I'm literally standing here with a ring in my hand, Ellie." She stepped toward me like she was going to grab my arm. I stepped back. "I messed up," she said. "But I love you. I swear I love you. Did you love me when you were in that hotel with him?" I asked. She went quiet. I closed the ring box and shoved it in the side pocket of the bag. "Here's what's going to happen. We're finishing this hike. We're going back to the cabin. Tomorrow morning, we're driving home. When we get there, I want you out of my apartment by the end of the week." She shook her head. "Please, just let me explain." "You already did, in those texts. That was the real you. I didn't mean to fall for him." I cut her off. Don't. Don't stand here and try to make it romantic. You lied. For months. You used me." She kept crying. I turned and started walking. She followed me down the trail in silence. That night in the cabin was quiet. She barely spoke. I didn't either. She slept on the couch. I locked the bedroom door. Next morning, we packed up and left. The drive back felt like a funeral. She tried one more time to talk while we stopped for gas. She followed me around the car and said, "You were going to marry me. Doesn't that mean anything?" I looked her right in the eyes and said, "Yeah, it meant everything. That's why this hurts so bad." She didn't say anything after that. When we got back home, she started packing her things right away. I didn't yell. I didn't throw her stuff out. I didn't need to. She knew it was done. She kept trying to text me that week. I didn't respond, not once. Then, about 2 weeks later, I got a DM from a random account, a girl named Haley. Said she was Drew's ex. She wrote, "Hey, I don't know you, but I think your ex Ellie was messing with my ex Drew. I just found out a bunch of stuff, and I thought you should know." I told her I already knew. Then we started talking more. Turns out, Drew was cheating on her with Ellie. Same timelines, same lies. He told Haley he was going to a work retreat when he actually spent the weekend in that hotel with Ellie. We ended up comparing notes. It was like watching two puzzle pieces come together. Everything lined up. But here's the wildest part. A month later, Ellie posted a photo of herself on Instagram. Caption, "Starting fresh, learning to love myself again." 2 weeks after that, she was tagged in a story at a party with Drew. Yeah, after all of it, after all the crying and "I love you" and "I didn't mean to," she went right back to him. I just laughed when I saw it. I didn't say a word. No reaction, no message, no "told you so." She could post all the fake healing quotes she wanted. It didn't change anything. She had burned the bridge. I wasn't going back to rebuild it. A few weeks after that, I went out with some coworkers for drinks. One of the guys brought his cousin along. Her name was Brooke. We talked a bit. She laughed at my dry humor, and by the end of the night, she asked if I had Instagram. I told her I did, but I didn't really use it much. She still followed me. I followed her back. I didn't think much of it. But a couple days later, she replied to a story I posted about a concert I was going to. We started talking, not flirting, just chill stuff, music, movies, weird dating stories. She told me she'd just gotten out of something too, and she wasn't in a rush for anything serious. I said, same. One day I mentioned the Colorado trip. I didn't go into details, just said it was supposed to be something else entirely, but things didn't work out. She asked, "Want to tell me about it?" And I paused for a second. Then I told her the whole thing. No fluff, just facts. I laid it all out. When I was done, she typed, "Wow, that's heavy, but honestly, good for you for walking away." That was it. No fake sympathy, no dramatic response, just simple honesty. And that's what I needed. We hung out a few times after that, grabbed burgers, went on a hike, different place, obviously. No ring in the bag this time, just snacks and some sarcasm. It felt light, easy, no pressure. Then one night we were sitting in her apartment watching a bad horror movie, and she asked, "Do you ever think about reaching out to your ex? Like just to get closure or something?" I said, "I got all the closure I needed when she lied straight to my face." She nodded and didn't ask again. But here's the funny part. Ellie did reach out. Of course she did. 3 months after she moved out, she sent me a message, just said, "Hey, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything." I left it on read. Then she followed up the next day. "I was stupid. I ruined something real. I've been thinking about you a lot." I still didn't respond. Then she sent one more. "I'm not expecting anything. I just needed you to know that I miss you." I blocked her. I'm not going to lie and say I didn't think about it. Not in a maybe we could fix this way, but in that petty, dark part of your brain that wants the other person to really feel it, to know what they lost. But I didn't need to say anything. Her own choices already said it all. Months passed. I got a promotion at work. I started going to the gym again. I even fixed up the spare room in my apartment, turned it into a little music setup, something I'd been putting off for years. Ellie always called it a waste of space, said we needed it for storage. I don't even know what she stored in there. Empty promises, maybe. Anyway, Brooke and I kept talking. Still nothing official. We were both cool taking it slow. But I'll be honest, it felt different with her. Like I didn't have to perform, didn't have to pretend. I could just be myself and she didn't try to twist it into something else. One night, I got a text from a mutual friend. "Bro, Ellie and Drew broke up." I replied, "Shocker." Couple days later, Ellie's account went private. A week after that, she deleted it. I guess the fairy tale didn't work out. Or maybe he cheated too. Wouldn't surprise me. He already showed who he was. Me, I kept moving forward. There was no dramatic ending, no revenge plan, no begging, just silence. I let the truth do the talking. She cheated while I was planning our proposal. Now she's history, and I'm better than I've ever been.